The Heartstopper star Kit Connor had to forcibly come out on Twitter to please the angry mob of people who feel entitled to his personal life. Here's how everything went down and why everyone is in such an uproar over the horrible incident. Kit bared himself to the internet with a simple tweet. Back for a minute, I'm bi. Congrats for forcing an 18-year-old to out himself. I think some of you missed the point of the show. Bye. It's a very saddening tweet that has broken the hearts of many. He obviously never meant to tell people this way, if ever, and it's only because of the major backlash he faced from a group of people who weren't happy with an alleged straight man playing a bi character. This is something that's been going on for quite some time, even before the show was released, and Kit has actually had to make several comments regarding this topic in the past as well. He's talked about how social media users pressure people to come out when they're not ready, because it definitely is something that we've seen a few times in the past, just because people online feel entitled to know everything about the personal lives of public figures. The debate on possible straight people playing LGBTQ+ characters has been a long and exhausting one, but has always affected the actors the most, especially when the actors aren't ready to come out, like in Kit's situation. The progression that's happened where celebrities feel pressured to announce private information about themselves to the world just to please the masses has turned extremely toxic, and it's also why some public figures fight tooth and nail to never reveal such things about themselves. Either way, the internet will never be happy, whether they actually turn out to be straight or not. The actors will always have to deal with angry fans. Kit is one of the ones who's basically had to defend himself from the words thrown at him, and back in May, he very pointedly said, "Twitter is so funny, man. Apparently some people on here know my sexuality better than I do." The quite passive-aggressive comment was deemed necessary, but people have obviously learned nothing since then. If anything, it looks like things have just escalated because of how Kit has been treated lately. The whole reason he had to come out on Twitter was actually because he was seen walking the streets hand in hand with a girl. People saw this as him queerbaiting, which usually refers to the media baiting people to believe characters are LGBTQ+ without following through with it, but it's a term that has also been used for real people as well. This particular behavior coming from the internet was angering to a lot of people for quite a few reasons. There's of course the fact that we're not entitled to Kit's sexuality. That's something somebody chooses if they want to share at their own pace, and people online make it sound like he's personally offending them by being with a girl when he does things for the LGBTQ+ community. Another reason for uproar is of course the fact that a lot of fans see this as people not recognizing that bi people exist. If someone is bi, they can hang out with whoever they wish, and it wouldn't take away from their sexuality. It's something that's offended quite a few people, since the uproar makes it sound like if Kit was actually a part of the LGBTQ+ community, then he surely would not be seen with a girl, like bi people don't exist at all. A lot of people on Twitter have spoken up about how unfair this is, not only for Kit but also for all bisexuals. One user tweeted, "You guys don't consider bisexual people queer enough unless they're dating the same sex." And it could very easily be one of the reasons why Kit felt he had no choice but to speak up. Bisexuality is often pushed aside in cases like these, and while Kit did it finally to shut people up, it also fights against the belief that bisexuals are only part of the community if they're dating the same sex. It could be a great lesson for a lot of people out there, but as the past shows, people will never really learn. The term queerbaiting in itself is very harmful to apply to real people. People aren't TV characters. They're living and breathing and can see everything the public says about them. The term has escalated a lot, and while it's an incredibly valid term to use in regard to harmful media that takes advantage of its LGBTQ+ consumers, it can't be applied to real-life situations. People coming out in real life, and publicly at that, can have really dangerous consequences. Coming out is all about feeling safe enough to disclose a part of yourself that means a lot to you. It's supposed to be empowering, but Kit's coming out is anything but. A Twitter user said, "Kit Connor is a person who should never have to defend himself against queerbaiting accusations in this way. It's important to remember that he's only 18 as well. It's a teenager that people hounded and accused for years. People shouldn't have to deal with this kind of pressure ever, but it's especially teenagers who are just discovering themselves that should never feel like they owe people something so personal." Kit actually spoke about this problem on The Rain with Josh Smith podcast in May.
I just feel like I'm perfectly, confident and comfortable in my sexuality, but I don't feel the need to really, I'm not too big on labels and things like that. I'm not massive about that, and I don't feel like I need to label myself, especially not publicly.
This is incredibly lucky because if it had happened to someone who perhaps didn't feel as safe about their sexuality, then things could have gone majorly wrong. The rest of the cast has spoken up in support of Kit and sent kind words his way in this difficult time. Kizzy Agel, who plays Darcy, replied, "I love you, Kit. I'm sorry this has been so disgustingly rough on you. Been treated so unfairly." Which shows exactly how hard of a time he's had with this, with us only seeing the very surface of his suffering. Even the Young Royals cast and crew have jumped in to defend Kit. With the Swedish show having similar themes, it's no surprise that they wanted to show their support. Edvin Riding wrote, "Feel for you, Kit, sending all the love I have your way." And Omar Rudberg said, "This makes me so sad. People are mean, sending hugs your way." It's extremely heartwarming to see, especially when the Young Royals cast has experienced some of the same things as Kit, with Omar declaring he doesn't like labels either. The Young Royals creator Lisa Ambiorn replied to Kit's tweet, "How can one watch a show like Heartstopper and the takeaway being that you, as a viewer, fan, whatever, have the right to know the most private aspect of the actor's life? Especially when it comes to this. All love in the world to you, Kit." The themes behind Heartstopper is something Kit mentioned in his original tweet as well, and a lot of fans have pointed out a scene from the original books where it was said, "There's this idea that if you're not straight, you have to tell all your family and friends immediately, like you owe it to them. But you don't. You don't have to do anything until you're ready." And it's the fact that people who have been accusing Kit of such things are supposed to be fans who have taken interest in the show or books that makes it all the more terrible. Like Kit said, "Some of you miss the point of the show." The Heartstopper writer Alice Oseman called out people based on that very reason as well. "I truly don't understand how people can watch Heartstopper and then gleefully spend their time speculating about sexualities and judging based on stereotypes. I hope all those people are embarrassed. Kit, you are amazing." The major call out from both the cast and crew as well as upset fans should definitely be a wake-up call for a lot of people, and hopefully people will get off his back after this. There's truly nothing else to speculate about regarding him anymore, so hopefully he'll finally get some peace. It's the best possible outcome from this terrible situation. Kit had his moment taken away from him, and it's something that's quite unfixable. Kit has previously left social media because of similar incidents, but now that he has no more comments left to give, we might never have the privilege of seeing Kit online anymore. It's really heartbreaking that such a young person has had to deal with the ugliest side of the internet because of something as vulnerable as his sexuality. It always hurts to see personalities like Kit's be squashed by the internet in such a way. He and the rest of the Heartstopper cast have been incredible voices for the LGBTQ+ community, and it's been very nice to see them be so outspoken. Something like the Pride Parade incident back in June where the cast was having fun in front of some gay rights protesters, Kit included, has been one of the best ways to show support, and it would be a shame if Kit began to shy away from the public eye because of this horrible experience. Heartstopper obviously means a lot to Kit, and it's incredibly saddening that the fan base who is supposed to have learned something from the books and show is at fault for ruining something so incredibly personal to him. Hopefully this is the last time a Heartstopper cast member has to have a wonderful time in their lives ruined by terrible people who shouldn't even call themselves fans of the cast that they're actively bringing down and insulting. What do you think of Kit's reaction to the internet's never-ending accusations? Do you have anything to add regarding the topic? Let us know in the comments, and thanks for watching.